Alaikum, welcome back, my fellow programmers. So, in this exciting installment of C programming course, we are going to learn about looping in C programming. These are the topics for today's class: looping in C programming, and while loop, do while loop, and for loop. Then we will move towards uh, using of break and continuous statements. So these are the topics for today's class. Let's get started by opening our compiler, F++. So basically, first of all, we are going to understand what are loops and how many types of loops are there in C programming. Basically, in loop is something we use loop when we want to perform some task in a repeated manner. So here loops comes, and loop is very crucial and very important in programming, because due to loops we can do tasks logically by putting conditions and all these things by using mathematical expressions. So basically programming is all about logic. It's not about to just print something on the screen. That is not a program. Anyone can do that. But programming is basically about logic. What logic you made. What is your logical what is your logical mind? How you can build an logic to crack anything. So loops are basically, there is a simple idea that loops are basically used to perform some tasks in a repeated way according to some condition. So then there is a question: how many types of loops are there? There are actually in C programming 3 types of loops: so while loop, do while loop, and for loop. These are three types of loops. In other programming languages, they are used C programming and data in some programming languages that are influenced by C programming. Also used these loops and are similar to C programming, have a similar syntax and all these things. So if we learn loops, understand the concept here at this level, it will become very easy for you to learn other languages. So let's get starting with the while loop. We have syntax. So basically this is the syntax of while loop. Here in these braces we put condition on which the loop works, and here we write the code of block that we want to execute if the condition is true. So let's see this thing practically. We take here a variable x is equal to 0, and we put a condition here: x must be less than equal to 5. And here we are going to write our code. For example, we are going to print the value of x every time the loop runs. X is equal to %d, and here we write x, and here we use \n to print every statement in next line. And here we write x plus plus. This is our increment statement. Code create array statement. Increment statement basically update the value of x by +1. Every time the loop ends, the 1 is added into the value of x. So the loop is going forward towards its condition, towards its end condition. Otherwise, if we don't put this statement in while loop, then this will become an infinite loop. Okay, so this is the actually while loop. We are going to run it by pressing F11. First of all, we have to save it. Now we are going to write, yes, we got the answer. X is equal to 0, x is equal to 1, and the x is equal to 5 till 5. There are values printed on our console is in, which shows that we have a condition x must be less than 5. Every time what happens, initially x is equal to 0. So initially the condition is true. So then it comes to execute this code, print the value of x, then update the value of x to x is equal to 1. Then check the condition is true this time also. So then it prints the value of x and then again update the value until the condition becomes false. So basically this is all about while loop. This is how we use while loop. This is a basic structure. I am giving you a basic idea of loops, how we are going to use while loop. So as we move further, we will also see some logical portions that is you solved through loops that have application of loops, and you should self-study about loops, practice portion about loops. This is how you can learn programming in a better way and become master of programming. So now we are moving towards do while loop. So here is the syntax of do while loop. Do while loop is a bit different from while loop and for loop. Basically, while loop and for loop are at most similar, almost similar. Just there is a difference of syntax. So there is a do while loop which is a bit different from while loop and for loop. Here what happens? Here it first print the code, first execute the code, and then checks the condition. So if the condition is false, code block executed at least once, because it first check the print, execute the code, and then comes to the condition. So this is the syntax of while loop. There we are going to say it practically. So here we write same thing, printf x is equal to %3 \n to change the line, and x here, and here we write the increment statement to update the value of x every time. And here we are going to perform the same task that we perform in our last loop, in while loop. So for the condition 5, so alright, press F11, same answer written here. Now we run this code, but we are going to make this condition false. Okay, so write this, and we made initially the value of x 6, which means the condition is wrong initially, because x is equal to 6, and here is a condition as must be less than equal to 5. Less than or equal to 5 to change x. So let's execute this code. What I said about the while loop, if the condition is true, the code block executed at least once, because code block execute first and then it checks the condition. So let's print it by, let's execute this program by pressing F11. So here we got an answer, x is equal to 1. Why x is equal to 6, sorry. So why we got this answer when the condition is true? Because this is a do while loop. It executes first and then it checks the condition. So if the condition is false, the code block is executed at least once. So this is about the while loop, do while loop. Now we are moving towards for loop. This is actually my favorite group. I use most of the time for loop in coding. The for loop and while loop are same. There is a difference of syntax. So this is a syntax of for loop. Here we initialize the variable. Here we put the condition, and here we write the increment statement. There in for loop, here is a place, and here is a restricted place for writing increment statement. That's why I like this loop. It has all the things. So right here, if y is equal to 0, and here we put the condition y is equal to y less than equal to 10. Here we write increment state y plus plus. Here we write the code block that we are going to print. X is equal to %d backslash n, comma, in X. Now we are going to press F11. There is no need to write the increment statement in the last, because here is a place, here is a restricted place where we write increment statement. In the there is a syntax, there is a place in the syntax of for loop for increment statement. So there is no need to write the increment statement in the last. Now we are going to execute this code by pressing F11. Yes, oh, sorry. We write about X while we are working on Y in this. Actually, we are working on Y. We initialize Y in for loop and we print X. That's right, prints this 6 every time. Now we are going to execute this code. And yes, we got the answer. Y is equal to 0 and we got the answer Y is equal to till 10. Okay, so this is about for loop, how it's gonna work. Here we initialize the value, here it checks a condition, and here it updates the value. How the way in which for loop works, it firstly it initializes the value, then it checks the condition y is equal to 0, then if condition is true, because condition is y must be less than or equal to 10, so condition is true, so it comes under the braces of for loop, and it executes the code that is written between the braces. And after executing the code, it will come on this statement and it update the value of y, and then again check the condition. If the condition is true, it will again execute this code and then update the value. This process repeat until the condition becomes false. So this is called for loop. This is a working of for loop. We are going to learn some more. This is about loops. Actually, loops are very crucial concept. We must have to practice about loops. Do practice questions. So this is because loops are very important in programming. We have to make your foundation very strong in loops to get more advanced concept in programming like sorting and all these things. Here is a concept of nested loops, which means a loop in a loop inside a loop. So, and that we use in practically that we use mostly in application working, that we have use mostly in problem solving questions. So we are also going to see that, but some questions, but you have to self-study those things, because we are here to give you a basic idea, but we are also made a separate video on nested loops and all these things. So now this is about loops. We are moving towards using usage of break statement and continuous statement. What is break statement and continuous statement? So I'm going to explain what is break statement and continuous statement. The break statement. Okay. Break statement and continuous statement basically goes 2 times only in 2 cases: when there is a switch, when we are working on with switch, or when we are working with loops. These break statement only used in loops or in switch cases. Now we are going to see the usage of break statement in loops. So basically this is a syntax of loop, simple loop, and this is a syntax of if statement, and we write here a break. So what we are doing here, we put some loop. For example, we put a loop for 1 to 10 or 1 to 100, and we made a condition in if x is equal to 2 or x is equal to 20, then break this loop. Print the value of x and break this loop. So if you want to break this loop before the condition becomes false, we use break statement. It basically exit the loop without uh, without without becoming condition false. Even when a condition is true, it have the power to end the loop. So this is actually a break statement, and similar to that is continuous statement. Continuous statement basically skip the iteration. For example, if I write here x, when x is equal to x is equal to 2, here I write continue. So what happened when the x is equal to 2, it continues, which means it skipped that iteration, it skipped that value. If some sort of code written here that is going to execute every time while the loop is going to while the loop is going to run, but if I use a continuous statement, so it will skip that iteration. So this is about break statement and continuous statement. We can see break statement here. For example, x is less than equal to 10, and here we write, for example, int x is equal to 0. X is equal to 2. Train rating, and then rate. And here we put the increment statement, which is x is plus blah. So now we are going to execute this code. Oops, what happened here? Oh, we tried to look into one versus. Okay, now execute this code. Now see, rating is printed here. We can understand it more clearly by this thing. Printf x is equal to cosine d x, and here you write this, and we also have to put \n to change the statement, to change the line of every statement. Now we are going to press F11 to execute. Yeah, we got the answer. X is equal to 0, x is equal to 1, and x is equal to 2. When x becomes 2, it breaks. However, we have a condition that x, whenever x is less than or equal to 10, the loop is going to be executed. Loop must be executed, but here we use a break statement. So before become the condition false, it has the power to exit the loop. So this is about break statement. We want to print breaking when break statement is going to work. So we write here printf statement. That's why breaking is printed on our console screen before breaking of loop. So this is how break statement works. In a similar way, continuous statement works. It is basically continuous statement. What continuous statement does? Continuous statement skips the iteration. If you write here continue, what continuous statement does? Continuous statement basically skips the iteration. Oops, sorry. So if we write continuous statement here, for example, x is equal to 2. We have the syntax of yes, this is the syntax of continuous statement. So here is the syntax of continuous statement. Here we write the condition same, all things are same. Just we write continue here rather than break, because we want to continue this, skip the iteration to the next one. So we want to, if we want to skip any iteration, we use continuous statement. So actually this is about today's class. It's all about today's class. You have to practice these concepts by your own. In this video, we gave you a basic concept, and give you the basic understanding about these things, and teach you about syntax, how you are going to use in use these things in programming, but you have to strong a foundation by practice questions. So my advice is to you is that practice regularly, and there are many websites for practice questions. For example, Programmers, Peak for Geeks, and I'm going to put all some practice questions, short practice question explanation of practice question on my channel and also on my blog programmersshri.blogspot.com. So I will see you soon. Happy coding.